Morning, guys. So, don't nobody come for me for driving. I'm paying attention, I promise. I can see that way clearly. I had to share something with you all that actually I meant to share yesterday. Something that the Lord kind of convicted and corrected me on yesterday morning. So, a few days ago, I had like a bad morning. I felt really, really ill, really sick. Kind of lazied around for a while, and then even after I got to feeling better, I completely went off the deep end. I ended up eating a whole bowl of Cool Whip with grapes. The grapes was my justification, it made it healthy, right? Binged so much social media, just video after video after video, and just kind of drowned it in garbage, mentally and physically. I just, bad day. Nothing bad happened, but for me, that's a bad day, So the next morning, I'm walking and praying like I always do, trying to have a normal day. Did great, actually, too. And I'm talking to the Lord about it, and this is something we've all been taught, and it's not completely untrue. It's just you've got to be careful with it. I was yesterday, so I literally repented and worked on it for a minute, and there was this heaviness with it, and I was move on. That was yesterday. Today's a new day. Move on. And I went to do that. I was mentally zipping up the suitcase and walking away, and the Lord literally just, there was a hard stop, skirt, and what he reminded me of in that moment was so clear, and something that I know, but we've all been taught, here in America, Western culture at least anyways, at least for me, I know, you move on. Yesterday is gone, today's new, move on. That is such a lie. Now, that is true. We don't have to and have no reason to live in shame or guilt or to live in yesterday, but let's face it, there's a reason why those things, we do the things that we do. So the silly little me binging and drowning myself in garbage of a whole bucket of Cool Whip and all that social, there's a reason for that. There was a reason why I was there. What was my reason? What spiritual baggage was I carrying that put me there where I did that? I don't need to dwell and to live in what I did, but do I need to unpack and get rid of what I did? What made me do what I did? Yes, absolutely. And for the other situations where it's not something we've done ourselves, but where maybe we've walked through a hard season, or somebody abandoned or rejected us, or we lost someone, whatever it may be, something outside of ourselves caused the season that we're trying to walk away from, that left a mark on us, okay? And it's always going to leave a mark. But if there's anything we're still carrying around, if we're just picking up and moving on, we're still carrying that. We can't carry that. We have to leave it. So if we're going to leave yesterday and yesterday, we have to make sure we're leaving all of yesterday and yesterday. And by that, I mean, if I hadn't addressed the reason, and I did. I figured out exactly what was going on. I'm a week away from leaving the country for a month, and my entire life being unhinged, and who knows what happens next, And there was a lot of stuff there extra with that, and that's why I was drowning myself. So if I hadn't addressed the reason why, it wouldn't have been unlikely that some, maybe today or tomorrow, I would have done the same thing again. And if we don't leave the emotional and mental baggage that comes with outside forces putting us through things, then we're likely to just live through that again. We're going to have our bad days over and over and over and over again. So while what we've been taught our entire lives of leaving yesterday and moving forward is completely true, we have to make sure that we do the work to leave the entire thing. To not just leave the behavior and hope and pray and expect that we're going to have better behavior moving forward, because let's just face it, that doesn't happen. That sometimes we can replace that behavior with other behavior that also masks those things. For example, I know a lot of recovering addicts, including myself, who do things like binge eating or over exercising, fitness junkies after that instead, but we're still masking, and I did that for a long time, and we're still masking. That we have to deal with the root issue and leave that also behind us. The root needs to be dug up and also left in the past, not just the fruit that we cut off, not just the branch that got in our way that we ripped off. The root has to go too, or it's going to keep coming back. So there's a little heart guard session for everybody today. I hope you guys all enjoyed it, and I love you all. Have a wonderful Wednesday.